Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Because we wouldn't want you to walk into like a woman's restroom or something, you know what I mean?
No. Not without an invite, Mike.
Oh, no, you're going to watch two companies that have facial bathrooms.
And I'm sure Nicole wouldn't want you walking into a woman's restroom either.
Yeah, no.
Nobody's surprised me anymore.
Woman that, plowed through this parade of people.
Then he gets out of the hospital and he talks about, this is over. Don't worry, it's all going to be over soon. Come on.
Having a good relationship
Trump,
with leaders of other countries
we have
is
a lot
a
of
good thing.
We have a lot of questions to get to.
That's
Your
like
response.
saying we had a good relationship with Hitler before he in fact invaded Europe, the rest of Europe. Come on. Last time we were on stage and he said, I told him to stand down and stand ready. Come on. This guy is a dog whistle about as big as a foghorn.
You're worried about people who are smoking weed. Come on. Weed's medicine.
Exactly.
It helps with anxiety. It helps with cancer patients who are eating. Come on. Weed doesn't make people.
You know, Nicole, I got to give you an anchor on this show or something. Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Welcome to another edition of Unfiltered with Michael Gardner. This is the Patriot Angle Podcast, Unfiltered. This is Tuesday Showdown. Streaming live on Twitch. And joining us back here is Jimmy, the Dev. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing, buddy?
Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for having me back on. And this time we got a little bit of video going on, and hopefully the audio is good because I know we tried this last week and didn't do so well on my end. So
the audio was terrible, man. I had to completely make an entirely different show out of that. But I think the audio is coming kind of clear, which is awesome. You can hear me on your end, right? I mean, it's coming out pretty good.
yeah, we're all set. We're all set.
All right. So, guys, this is for those who are new to the stream here. We are streaming live on Twitch. So thank you to the people on Twitch for making this happen. It's like the third. Is it the third? Yeah, the third or fourth stream we've done on Twitch. Really, really good turnout we had, Jimmy, last week with Friday's show. I don't know if you tuned into that, but it was a really, really good feedback we've had. So we're doing pretty good on the on Twitch. Like I said, I'm just kind of testing out the waters with Twitch to see how it does, because we do well on Spotify. So I want to see how it's doing on Twitch. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a big platform. A lot of young people on there.
Yeah.
It makes a big bang. So if you can capture any type of audience, Twitch would definitely be the way to go. I don't know what's moving. I feel like a lot of people start off on YouTube and they're starting to finally move away as YouTube becomes a little bit more strict with their guidelines and the whole demonetizing people.
Yeah. I mean, you can't even you say something now that, whether it's sensitive, material or what, I mean, you get put in what's called, YouTube jail or you get shadow banned. I'll admit, I'm fucking shadow banned or whatever the hell it is, YouTube jail right now on YouTube. That they won't even let me upload like a short, the shorts on YouTube. They won't even allow that.
Well, we're moving towards that age of censorship. We're already there, right? Anyone who noticed, you had to have noticed that in the past 3 or 4 years, you can't find things anymore on YouTube, on the internet. Search engines have changed. They already said they were going to start taking down things that they deemed as conspiracy. Again, when you start going down that road of having a panel of people making decisions as to, what's good for you and what isn't good for you, you're marching down the road to tyranny. You don't know you don't know who is actually making those guidelines. It's going to be a one-way biased approach depending on who's sitting on that committee. So as we start to see that, other platforms are starting to take advantage and realizing that, hey, we give you more bang for your buck. Come over here, we won't censor you. Kind of like with the whole Rumble thing with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, what's going on with the whole Joe Rogan? I mean, is he is he with Rumble now, or is he with Spotify? I mean, is he with both platforms? Like, what's going on with that one?
No, he's still with Spotify. He didn't leave. He shrugged off. I mean, he's so big right now, you can't cancel him. So he just kind of kept it moving. He put out a bullshit apology and agreed with Spotify to have some of the episodes removed. But again, you see something great like that. You see one of the greats, one of the founders of making podcasts a thing, and he's submitting slowly but surely to it. I mean, he's allowing the censorship to happen, and he got a big payday, and he's still bringing a lot of good content, just like you're bringing good content, but unfortunately a little bit more. So eventually it's just going to keep how much more they're going to keep. Once you give them an inch, they take a foot. So it's going to be constant. Hey, we don't agree with this. What do you think? We remove this, and then before you know it, you're not going to really be able to catch anything that he put out that was worth watching.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, we live in that silent world, so to speak, where if anybody disagrees with you, you're pretty much put on the back burner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. What are you going to do? I always say this. I always say when you watch these movies that they're onto something. When you see something, let's say like V for Vendetta, the guy had to go into a secret room in his basement because he had a copy of the Quran and it was illegal. I could see something like that happening in the future because in order for it to be in order for us to be like a secular type of people, there's only one person that's going to be in charge. It's got to be the state. And the state can't have any competition. Unfortunately, anything else that kind of, interferes with that will eventually be crushed. Not to sound too conspiracy behind it, but I mean, you could see little by little certain things coming into play.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Jimmy, did you see the change the tides here a little bit? Did you see USFF, U.S. Freedom Fighters? They put out their newsletter. Did you see that yet?
I didn't see the newest newsletter, but I contributed to the newsletter since I'm a member of USFF, and which is U.S. Freedom Fighters. So I did put in a little something in there. I did not see if they published it. I haven't been on my phone, so.
Right. Well, Brad, he actually just put a piece in here from Patriot Angle podcast, giving us a big shout out, which was the rough draft of the newsletter. I guess he's going to be putting it out later this evening, but I wanted to plug it into the tonight's show here with the shout out. Big shout out here. If you guys are viewing this on Zoom or through Twitch, it's probably, is it Twitch? Why am I saying Zoom? Where's my head at tonight? If you guys are viewing this on Twitch, you could see the actual newsletter that I posted in here. Like I said, just zoom in on it, whether you're on a laptop, a tablet, or your phone. You'll probably see it best on a laptop because you can actually, the video is a lot bigger, with the live video here on Twitch. But gave us a huge shout out. So thank you very much, Brad and Jerry and all the guys, included Jimmy here, from USFF, giving us a big shout out here on the Patriot Angle. Much love, much appreciation. Thank you very much. Jimmy, let's get into this this UFC story with Cain Velasquez. I can never pronounce his name right, but Velasquez. Let's get into this story. Have you heard what's going on with Cain Velasquez from UFC?
Yeah, so I love UFC. I love MMA. So I did follow up on there, and it's a little wild, man. A little wild.
Yeah. Did you hear the whole fucking Cain Velasquez was charged with attempted murder? Did you hear that shit?
Well, that's what I read. You know, I'm not. Listen, I think what happens sometimes is everybody gets surprised with individuals like this. I'm not really surprised.
Yeah.
You know, like these. You know, anyone that is into mixed martial arts, MMA, and I don't mean like the discipline side of it. I'm not talking about somebody who just studies the art. I'm talking about people who get into that octagon to fight. They fully embrace violence. You know, some of these guys are the real deal before training. Like they were on the street, you know, banging out every night, troubled people. So it's not like when I hear these stories, I'm not 100% surprised. Like, oh, you mean somebody whose whole career was based off of violence, committed an act of violence? Not really surprised about it, especially getting hit in the head. You know, doctors have shown that, you know, people take too many blows to the head. What is it called, Mike? Is it a CTE with the concussions?
What they call it in the sports industry, whether it's in NFL or combat sports such as UFC or even professional wrestling, you know, any type of combat sport, they call it a protocol. What it is like they go into this protocol of if they're gonna clear them, you know, if the medical staff is gonna clear them or not. They go into this what's called exactly what you had just mentioned. They go into the protocol and they basically, you know, announce at that point, that stage, okay, are they cleared to go or not? If they're not cleared to go, they go into that phase where the protocol's like a week of basic rest, right? I mean, if you want to elaborate to the listeners, you know, understand a little bit, you know, they go into that week phase to rest and relax, to recuperate and everything else. And then they go at the end of that week, they go into another phase where they basically say, okay, the medical staff will come in and say, are they clear? You know, and at that point they make a determination. So yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So the word itself, the CTE is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Is a term is used to describe brain degeneration likely caused by repeated head trauma. So it's unfortunate, man, because Cain Velasquez, I believe he was the first Mexican heavyweight champion in the UFC. He's an incredible athlete, super powerful. He's a house. I mean, I enjoyed when he pummeled Brock Lesnar and put him back into wrestling and kind of put him out. But I mean, I don't know where these guys. He's not even 40 years old yet. I think he's like 39. So
Cain Velasquez,
he's not. He's pretty young dude. And listen, it's not really. I'm not surprised at some of these things. You know, some of these guys are the real deal. Just because you see them on TV and they get in the octagon to fight doesn't mean that, you know, they won't slap the shit out of you outside on the street. Yeah. Or that they're not tied in with anything and they're about that life that they, you know, that's not promoted in their stage persona, right? So I mean, I mean, you even got the Diaz brothers. Look at them; they grew up in Stockton. They're the real deal outside the octagon. So if you were to get into some shit with them, I wouldn't be surprised if you would end up somewhere in a similar situation.
Oh yeah. You know, I did my homework actually on this, Jimmy. I got the printout from the screenshot I took on my laptop, and like I said, I just read this earlier today. First reporting, guys, coming out of NBC News. Believe it or not, NBC News reported on this. Probably the time slot was around 6:45 in the morning. Wow. Okay. So it basically says here, Jimmy, from the screenshot I took, make sure I elaborate here so everybody understands what's going on. with UFC champ Velasquez, charged with attempted murder, guys. Professional wrestler and former UFC champion, right? We got to put the former because he's not the current, right? The former UFC champion, Cain Velasquez, is accused of shooting a man in California on Monday. So this was just yesterday. Okay. Velasquez is being held at the Santa Clara County Jail, main jail, on a charge of attempted murder. San Jose police said just earlier today. The motive and circumstances surrounding this incident are still under investigation at this time, police said. Officers had also responded to a shooting late Monday and found a man who had been shot at least once. He was brought to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and Velasquez, at that time, was arrested. It's unclear if Velasquez has an attorney. And we all know, folks, Velasquez is a wrestler. He's also a mixed martial artist, and he's a two-time UFC heavyweight champion. So, Jimmy, your thoughts on that? You think the charges are going to stick? Are they going to, what's going on with this?
I think I'd have to understand a little bit more about the situation. I think I'm trying to look up while I'm talking to you, right? If he had any ties with anything else outside of the Octagon.
Yeah, because pretty much the article, as you're probably looking it up and everything, pretty much the article, Jimmy, I mean, it didn't really say much, because this has just happened yesterday. So, there's not going to be a lot of reports on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we'd have to wait and find out for the UFC to actually give some kind of statement on it. Do I think the charge is going to stick? Again, I'd have to find out exactly what it was. I mean, for him to get arrested, they have to have something. They got to have a little something. I mean, he is a high priority person. People will eventually understand who he is or find out who he is, right? He must be the aggressor. I don't know I don't know. I don't know much about it to speak on it, but I do wish him the best of luck as long as he didn't commit a crime. Great fighter, man. And when he was in the ring, it was definitely great to watch him. So best of luck to him. See if he gets it sorted out. Maybe make a comeback or something. I don't know. He's up there in age, but
it's like he's in his 40s. Believe it or not, he's like 41 years old. So I mean,
is that what they said? I thought when I looked it up, he was. Yeah,
he is 41. He's in his early 40s. He's. But this is nothing new, Jimmy. I mean, this is not like he's been in trouble with the law, once before. I think his mouth gets him in trouble. He's always been that big mouth, kind of tough guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but over the years of me watching UFC, I don't really remember that many instances where he was getting in trouble outside. I mean, mostly it's John Jones is the poster boy for problems in the outside the octagon. I mean, he had his belt stripped from him, 2 or 3 times, and then he finally gave it up.
Yeah.
To go up in weight class. But yeah, I mean, again, I think I'm not too surprised. I'm not surprised when I hear these stories, when you hear about people that are in impact sports or fighting and they get into some shit outside outside in the public. And I just can't say that I'm at all surprised, because their whole life is based off of violence. Their whole career is based off that foundation, right? Especially MMA. Yeah, I mean,
you go back to was it WrestleMania? The whole WWE thing. When they put on a huge, I'm talking about a huge fucking like sports angle with Cain Velasquez and who the hell was he fighting? He was fighting somebody. The Big Show or something like that. I think it was the Big Show. And they put on a huge sports angle. And I mean, literally, like, they only used them for that one time. And like, usually they have like a follow-up, like the next night, usually like a Monday Night Raw or something like that, with WWE. But they didn't even have him the second night, because they said, like, this guy, literally, when he was in WWE, we all know it's sports entertainment. It's more scripted than anything, And they said, like, even behind the scenes that, he's hard to work with. You know, he doesn't follow protocols. He doesn't follow even a script, because to an extent, we know UFC is a real combat sport, but there are some scripted material, you know, angles added. And they said that he's hard to work with. So, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. I know WWE had used him in some type of spotlight at some point. I forget what I don't really watch as much. I don't really watch wrestling, but I have been kind of sitting on a couch watching some like documentaries and old school stuff, and you catch clips here and there. I know they used him in it for some kind of spotlight, but I guess, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You also got to think about it. He probably went in with a chip on his shoulder, being that he was I think he was champion at the time when he did that guest appearance. And
Yeah.
Let's face it, these guys beat people up for a living, and not to knock anyone that watches wrestling, those guys beat their bodies up too, but it's a totally different element than UFC. We can't compare the two at all.
Yeah, can't compare it. Jimmy, I wanna plug in a good plug in here. Big shout out here before I forget. My cousin Dex on Twitch here, awesome hardcore streamer for the gaming industry. Yes, guys, Twitch is not only ideal for podcasts and talk shows, it's also ideal for gaming. So if you're looking for gaming knowledge, check out my cousin. Lizdexia82 is his handle. We'll plug him in here right on the show. Big shout out to Dex.
Trump do for us, man. He created a bunch of jobs, got a whole bunch of factory business back from overseas with good business decisions, things of that nature. He dropped the amount of people on food stamps in this country. He gave
So big shout out to Lizdexia82. Love you, man. Looking forward to seeing your stream tonight. I think he broadcast about another maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I forgot his schedule on Tuesdays, but Jimmy, you gotta check him out, dude. I'll give you the link. Awesome streamer, knows his stuff, knows his gaming. So if you need any knowledge, shoot him up, hit him up.
Yes, yeah, send it over. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
It actually went mute on. My phone muted on me. Who was he plugging? He was plugging Trump.
Yeah. What happens is when we plug in the videos here, it goes on mute. So the audience can hear the video. It automatically does that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you, so many people out there are like, oh man, bring Trump back at this point. You can't possibly sit there. Listen, if you don't like the guy's locker room talk or like his disposition, I can understand that a little bit. I can understand that a lot of it. There was a lot of times where that guy got himself in trouble with his mouth. But let's face it, the 4 years of his presidency, he had people holding hands, playing nice in the sandbox. You know, we had gas prices down, inflation wasn't shooting up. It's pretty quiet on social media. I don't see anyone that I have as friends, which I've let a couple people go recently. Listen, I don't have a problem if you're on the left side of the spectrum. We could drink beers, hang out, whatever. It's politics. As long as we treat each other fair. But been pretty quiet lately. Pretty quiet.
Oh, sure. Yeah, without a doubt. Guys, for those who are viewing here, I just wanted to plug in the streaming partner here on Twitch. Thank you very much. We are live on Twitch. Patriot Angle Unfiltered. Joining us today is Jimmy. Always great to have Jimmy on the show. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for being on the show. I know you love to be on the show, and you always, hey man, when's your next recording? You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm always ready to do what I got to do and shoot the shit with you about stuff.
I hear you.
Anybody out there that's listening, the Patriot Angle is where it's at, and there's a lot of good content here. So listen to the older content, the older podcasts, and make sure you tune in for the lives.
I hear you, Jimmy. Jimmy, we're going to take a quick break. I want to get into some more topics here. But before that, let's get a quick break in, and we'll be right back, guys, after these words. on the Patriot Angle podcast, Unfiltered Tuesday Showdown. Be right back, guys.
Hulu has live TV?
Hulu has live sports?
They do.
Hulu has live news?
That is correct. And Hulu also has
live talent show.
It also has over 75 live channels.
Woo!
Flip like cable, stream like Hulu. Time to have Hulu plus live TV.
Alrighty, guys, back to the show of shows. Let's get the party started, huh? So basically, Jimmy, where to start, man? I can tell you right now, I just literally got back about maybe an hour ago. Had some killing pizza, dude, in downtown Athens, Georgia here. This place called,
man.
What's that?
I said, I don't know, man. Pizza down in Georgia? Come on, I'm a snob up here.
What the fuck's wrong with the pizza, man, in Georgia? Pizza is fucking killing here in Georgia. Love it.
I got to check it out then.
What's that?
I got to check it out then.
Yeah, the name is a little off, but, dude, the pizza at this place is fucking phenomenal. It's called Ted's Most Best Garage Pizza. Gave a quick little plug in there to Ted's. Guys, I love this pizza. It's awesome. You got to check it out, Jimmy, if you're ever in Georgia, dude.
I do like the name. I'm not going to lie. I do like the name of it. It sounds like a place where you'd get some good pizza from.
Well, duh. I mean, yeah, it's called Ted's Most Best. That's the fucking name says it all, dude. And but I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's not the largest size pizzas. They're these 10-inch kind of personal pan type style of pizza, but it's fucking phenomenal, dude. It's great. Love it.
Is it what do you call that? Like brick oven style or just regular?
It's almost like a have you ever been to oh god, they're becoming like chains now. They're all over the place. It's called Your Pie.
No. Never. You
don't have Your Pie up? You're in Jersey, right?
Come on. Yeah, no, we got tons of mom and pops. I don't Your Pie. I got to check it out. I don't know.
Your Pie, check it out. Yeah, it's similar to that. It's more like it's more on a personal pan type thing than anything else, but it's fucking phenomenal, dude. Really good, man.
I gotta give it a go. See if I can find one around here.
You're damn right, you got to give it a go. So, what else do you want to talk about, man? What's on your mind, man? Kind of let's make it an open forum tonight. Tuesday Showdown here on Twitch. What's going on in the neck of woods up by you?
We have the People's Convoy, which kicks off this Saturday, which is the Patriot Trucking Convoy. So it's going to kick off North Jersey, end up in this Central Jersey, kick it down to South, and then from there, if people want to go down to DC, then they have to figure out their routes. But there's definitely a route through New Jersey and a rally. So looking forward to hopefully being there and networking and meeting some other fellow Patriots.
Wait, is this the one you were telling me about like last week, like over the weekend? Like you're gonna take a video of this, right?
I plan on trying to get some content down there and talking with the people and seeing if I can get some interviews or whatnot and seeing if people want to talk and going from there. And I'm open, and I'm not going in with a crazy approach. If other people have opinions that don't necessarily agree with mine, I'm open to listening to them and bullshitting with them and seeing what they think and seeing if we can meet in the middle ground. And if we can't, then they go fuck themselves.
Right? Fucking unfiltered. I love it. So hey man, you got to get the video in. Get the video in. Send me the hard copy of it. Got to get it on the website, man, because we need to open up the world, Jimmy. I mean, this is the only way this shit's going to end. The only way it's going to end. You know what I mean?
I agree. And that's why there's really no public, there's nothing being covered on it right? The same way they did it with Canada, where they kind of went radio silent and they didn't want to really report on it to kind of try to, in hopes that it would die down and it wouldn't gain support, is the same way that it's trending here in the U.S. So this convoy, from what I'm seeing through social media platforms, looks pretty big. Now, I don't know what kind of disruption it's going to cause, but unfortunately, sometimes you have to go through uncomfortable times to get what you want, and it's peaceful protesting in a very creative way. I mean, that's the best thing you could say. I mean, you have tons of stuff still going on. You had a BLM march up here the other day in New York, and they're still throwing stuff at the precincts and marking up cars and stuff like that, and always taking the super aggressive approach. And this convoy, hopefully, is going to be that peaceful protest that maybe causes some disruption, and people hear them, and people are just fed up. The silent majority is starting to wake up, and there's a lot of people pissed off. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, where's the convoy starting out there in New Jersey?
I believe it's starting up in Mahwah, going down then making its way to it's starting up in Bergen County, making its way down to New Egypt Speedway.
Good. My old stomping grounds, man. Wow. Okay.
Never been down there. So it's going to be it's like an all-day event. People are starting from different corners of the state, making their way to that mid-rally point. It's going to be from, I believe, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., 4 hours. You got guys like Bill Spadia from 101.5 going to be there. He's a huge advocate of everything right. He's an anti-mask, anti-vax. Well, I hate to say that because I don't want to group anybody in with the words anti-vax. He doesn't agree with the COVID vaccination because I'm not an anti-vaxxer myself. I'm vaccinated up to a degree. I just don't want to take experimental drugs right now. In the same way, he feels the same way, and he's great. If you can actually tune into him in the mornings from I think it's about 6 to 10, 101.5. Great show, great content, and he really.
We're definitely gonna check him out. Yeah, we're definitely gonna check him out, Jimmy. And it's rare too because you live in probably the most liberalist, blue Democratic states in the country. New Jersey. It's cousin right north of them, New York City. New York. And it's rare that you see people like that. That have that agenda on their brain. Their mindsets. Where you have a gentleman that's willing to step up and fight against the tyranny in this country. And it's sad too, because you have a bunch of people, man, that just, they're so manipulated by the media right now. Like they'll believe anything. Like, oh, the sky's really gray when it's, not blue. It's like, it's fucking nuts what's going on, man. It's nuts.
Well, if you think about the manipulation with people, right? So you have all these celebrities, all these people right now with the Russia-Ukraine conflict. They're like, we stand behind you. We're going to update our profiles to have Ukrainian flags. We're going to do all this stuff because we're compassionate. Oh, you know what? Arm the people. Arm the people over there so they can defend themselves. These are the same individuals that want to disarm you. The same people that want to piss on your two-way constitutional rights. The same people that want you to lose your job if you don't get a vaccine. The same people who are scared of you if you cough without a mask on when there's no science behind that these masks are helping us. Not talking about the way that doctors wear masks and the way that they use protocol with N95 masks. I'm talking about people walking around with their everyday dirty mask on their face.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, man. You're going to wear this dirty ass mask, like who's the hypocrite, right? I mean,
well, the hypocrisy is it's too much. So when you talk about manipulation, the left is manipulated on a daily basis by whatever they watch on the news. So living in one of the most liberal type of states. But you know what? I will say that New Jersey is a little bit of a different beast. I wouldn't compare it to California. Yes, we're blue. But I want to say that even the people here that are blue, even if they're a little deranged, we have more of an understanding. You know, I'm not walking around and getting into to BS every day in New Jersey, and neither am I looking for it. New York City and Philadelphia are probably cesspools for those types of radical left.
Oh, they love it. They love it. It's like a vacuum to those type of people. They love it because it feeds their base, it feeds their agenda, and you know they're gonna sugar ride this, or however you want to use the terms. They're gonna ride this COVID thing until they can't ride it anymore because that's all they got, man. They don't have anything else. This administration, this government, they don't have it. They don't. I mean, they're lying about the jobs. They're lying about the fucking the prices of food. Oh, the prices of food are great. What the fuck kind of reality are you living in, pal? Like, did you check the fucking price of bacon and eggs? Like the last time, they're fucking doubled, man. Like, how much are you paying for eggs right now in New Jersey, Jim?
I don't remember, man. I just kind of, at this point, I kind of just grab, you know, before I'd go to Costco and kind of just grab it. But that's a good question. Next time I'll be more prepared to, I'll give you a rundown next time I talk to you about what I've seen.
Check the prices, man. You know, because the eggs, like where I'm at here in Georgia, you know, the eggs, man, are like fucking 10% more than they were like a year ago. And this is like, it's unheard of. Like eggs and bacon, fucking shit we need, right?
Well, we're I don't know, we're really set up at a disadvantage at this point. And when you think about it, people are sitting here and they're like boo-hooing over what's going on over in Eastern Europe. I don't really give a shit about it at the moment. I'm not saying I'm not saying I don't feel for the people over in Ukraine. I don't want to see innocent people get killed just because you know, there's a dick swinging contest between two morons out there. But what I will say is that America has a lot of its own issues here right now that we need to take care of.
Well, here's the thing. You're bringing up the Ukraine thing, man. You know, my other line of work, you know, when I was at work the other day, you know, this guy, he was talking to another coworker, and he was like, "Did you hear that crazy son of a bitch the other day, Donald Trump, like in his speech talking about like the whole Ukraine thing? This guy is fucking nuts." I'm thinking to myself, all right, the real nut job is like who's in office right now, not doing a damn thing about it. Like literally just letting everything just pile on up. Jimmy, this is the hysteria we're living in this country. It's terrible. It's on both sides, man. Democrat and Republican. It's the fucking war, man. We're in a war right now, a political war. People don't realize that. The distraction right now, Jimmy, is the Ukraine-Russia story. That's the distraction. You know what I mean?
Of course. Wherever the media is pointing for you to look at, whenever they're bombing you with information, it's an information overload. So what happens is it becomes trendy, and you have people that they're living right now in TikTok mind state. I got that from another podcaster, right? The TikTok mind state is you're kind of like a drone. You're just looking at content cycling through, boom, boom, and it really doesn't resonate. It serves no purpose. It doesn't enlighten you. You have no emotional attachment to it. So that's what happens. It's basically the sheep being herded. So now it's the Ukraine, Russia. Yeah, it's Ukraine, Russia. Everybody's going to change their profile, have a Ukrainian flag. Everybody's going to make TikToks and weird dances. The celebrities are going to fucking sing songs together to against
the Kumbaya. We're gonna sing Kumbaya around the campfire. It's all one big distraction, you know. Like we live in an S&M scenario of a system here in this society. A lot of people are like, Mike, what's S&M? Well, you got surveillance and monitoring, right? We're constantly being surveillanced. We're constantly being monitored on social media, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, or any other, including Twitter, right? We're being monitored all over the place. You know, like our free speech is dying. Our right to assemble, right to occupy, that's pretty much underneath the water, so to speak. So, I mean, we're becoming a dying state as a society, and we're losing the base. We're losing it because, Jimmy, we're allowing it to be lost. You know what I mean?
Of course. Well, I mean, right now we're in the great war of information. You know,
right.
the whoever controls the information is the stakeholder, right? The person who owns it all. and that's where we're at now. We're in a battle for information, and unfortunately, they're doing a very good job at being able to censor it, being able to withhold it from you, and only feed you what they want. So, people don't even realize what they're losing because they never knew they had it, and that's the big issue.
Well, the people that are seeing that, well, you just made a good point. The people that are not realizing it are mainly this new generation. Okay, mainly the new generation, because they're so easily like distracted from the media. Like the media can tell them something and they'll believe it. Like with the masks. Let me get into the mask issue. Have you noticed like more masks, more different styles and brands that are coming out, like the N95, the K95? They're going to develop these things, Jimmy. And people are going to run over to the drugstore or wherever they're getting these stupid things, and they're going to put them on their face. And they're going to believe every fucking word that the media and the CDC is telling them. It's terrible. Really is. Like, we've become a society that is so easily manipulated. It's really sad. Really sad. You know what I mean?
Well, most people now is they can't make their own mind up, so they look towards the government to help them make their mind up. They say, well, what should I do here? And they're like, oh shit, he's asking us what he should do. All right, let's use it to our advantage right now. I mean, the mask thing is so, they're playing the COVID mask thing so much. It's hilarious. The government has a website, ready.gov, that talks about how to prepare for disasters, I believe, and whatnot. I did see it. I don't know the whole rundown of it, but you can check it out. But it's even to the point where it said, I'm not making this shit up, it's hilarious. In the event of a nuclear explosion, what to do. And it says seek shelter, go to a bomb shelter. In it says to socially distance 6 feet and wear a mask. I shit you not. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. If there's a nuclear blast, folks, please don't give a fuck about your mask and social distancing.
Yeah, right. God forbid about the fucking mask, man. Save yourself.
Get the safety. Get somewhere. Don't worry. Leave the mask.
Hey, Jimmy, what the fuck is a mask going to do in a nuclear blast, right? I mean, come on, man. Jimmy, you can't make up this bullshit. You really can. I mean, it's on the website. You got to be like scratching your heads, like what? Like, you ever see that Pat McAfee show? He's like, what? It's like, come on.
Unfortunately, the damage is done because you have companies that are still instilling these policies. So the federal government can walk away now. Biden could be like, yeah, no worries, lift all sanctions, not a big deal, because he did exactly what he said. He goes, I will talk with the DOJ and see if we can force it through companies, and they did. And what's going to happen is, and these big Fortune 500 companies, these big conglomerate corporations, they're going to be good boys. They're going to do good boy things, and they're going to want to make daddy proud and happy. So they're going to instill those policies, even when the feds say, no, it's cool, man, you don't have to. They say, nah, it's part of the policy now for this. I mean, sometimes I look at jobs posted, and it was like, are you vaccinated? And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah, that's dude. They're putting this on job applications now. Like, are you vaccinated? The fuck?
But that
what does it matter? Does it?
I mean, you're violating my rights of privacy to disclose my medical information. That's like me walking in and asking if somebody, if a woman was interviewing me, say, hey, did you get a pap smear this year?
Right. Are you gonna put on the application, like, how many children do you have? Have you ever had an abortion or a miscarriage? I mean, sorry to get a little dark, folks, but I mean, that's almost the similarities with asking somebody if they're vaccinated. Do you have diabetes? Do you practice good hygiene levels? I mean, the fuck does it matter? How does this relate to the job role, right? How does it relate to the job role? I'm applying for a job, dude. I'm not going into a health clinic. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what brings that brings us to Ukraine, Russia. That it's like, listen, They know that there's a lot of stuff going on. When I say they, I'm talking about the administration that's here now. They know they're losing ground on certain policies that they put in place. So what they need to do is have a rallying cry and focus everyone's attention to Russia and say, hey, Putin bad, which, fuck commies. You know what they say about commies, only good commie is dead commie. But but they want you to look that way so that they're trying to clean up on the back end, But let's think about it. I like I said, I really wish the people the best of luck out there. Kudos on fighting back, but
yeah, definitely. Definitely. We lost Jimmy here. I think we're having some network issues on his end. We're going to wait until he gets popped back in. But there he is. What happened, Jimmy? You got some network issues on your end, huh, buddy?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, yeah. So
I think we're all good now.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. I can hear you pretty good. So you're talking about the Russia thing, like we're talking about like how COVID is slowly disappearing off the media radar, and now they're focusing their attention on Ukraine and Russia. You don't see anything about COVID anymore, right? It's like went out the door. I posted something on my Instagram and on my Facebook where they had the little virus bug, right, walking throughout the exit door, and then all of a sudden comes in another door is a rocket, and you know what that rocket signifies, right? The whole Russia-Ukraine thing.
Yeah.
So
well, they got to keep the people engaged because, like I said, the masses here are so used to a content overload that they need to be engaged 24/7, or you lose them, right? So what they do is they go right from COVID to, all right, we're losing ground on COVID. Let's go to the threat of nuclear war. So it's what's the first thing? Putin puts Russia on high nuclear alert. And it's like,
well, you know what? The war, every president uses that. They don't want it. Trust me, I don't think they want it. Even you got to think about it. No president wants war. But if they don't have a base, Jimmy, and if they're not engaging with their voters and they're not engaging with the American people, they have to think of something to secure their base. So war is always like their last option. Biden needs this, Jimmy. He needs it. You know why he needs it? Because you look at the midterms. They're right around the corner. You and I just mentioned the midterms, not just too long ago. I think it was like a couple episodes back. They need this. They need this because it's going to set a new base for the Biden administration. Because behind every war, even if you don't support the current administration in office, even the doubters are going to be like they're going to jump on the same ship with Biden. They're going to be behind him on this because no country wants to fail at a war. You know what I mean?
Well, our country, the United States is built on wars. I mean, we go to war every so often for such a young country, but what's going on over there, there's a lot. And like I was saying before, it's like that there was a lot of corruption in Ukraine beforehand. And, Biden and Hunter Biden have ties over there. And there's a lot of people on the seat that have ties over there. I think it was Nancy Pelosi has ties with Ukraine.
Oh God, her history book goes back like fucking decades, man.
Kerry. So there's
John Kerry. Yep.
Yeah, there's prominent leaders of the left, leaders of the Democratic Party that have some weird shady ties over there. And I seen a video the other day. Again, I don't know the source of it, but they were burning stacks of papers, and I'm like, what are they burning stacks of papers over in Ukraine for? Like,
they're burning the truth, Jimmy. They don't want the truth out there.
And I seen another thing too I seen a map that showed U.S. laboratories in Ukraine, and then there was a map of like Russian bombing sites, and they kind of matched up. But again, I don't know. I don't have like hard. I'll never disseminate.
Yeah, a good friend.
It's not.
Yeah, a good friend of the podcast here, PJ of Archangel Protective Intelligence. You could find him, guys, on Instagram. He posts a lot of good content on his Instagram account. Hit him up. He's been posting, Jimmy, a lot of content relating to the Russia-Ukraine thing, where they're showing things that the American media isn't even showing. Where he gets this, I don't know, but the guy is full of knowledge. Hit him up, guys. Archangel Protective Intelligence, had to plug him in on the show. But yeah, he's been posting some stuff related to what you had just said about these bombings, about like a schoolhouse, just different things, kind of like wonders, like what's really going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even the crazier part is the Americans outpouring support of Ukrainian nationalism, right?
What's that all about? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, what was that all about? I was reading a little bit of it, but I really didn't get too much into that part.
Well, I just think that it's insane. Like, if you are a nationalist here and you care about your country, then you're called a Nazi, white supremacist, terrorist, and I'm not to be confused with people who identify themselves as that, right? But I mean, a nationalist, somebody who really cares about its country and really only wants anything to do with its own country, and you think your country's better. Of course, I think America's better. I think America is better than most countries in the world. We're definitely
that's the normal thing to do. I mean, that's the normal thing to say. I mean, you want to love your country more than you love another country. That's not being un-American. That's not being an unpatriot citizen. Dude, every country in the world is going to favor their own country over another country. You should. Now, if you're favoring another country besides your country and you're putting your country second and you're putting their country first, that's wrong. But no, you can't do that, Jimmy, because you just mentioned you'll be labeled as a white supremacist, a neo-Nazi, a this, a that. You know what I mean? That's brings me back. Yeah. Society. Yeah.
But I wonder though, one thing that makes me that I wonder is you have organizations like Antifa, right?
Right.
Who love that communist lifestyle. I don't really hear much from them now since this has been going on. Not that I personally hear from them, but what I mean is I don't really see a lot. Either the media is just not reporting on it, or I don't really see a lot of activity from that group. And I wonder how the American people feel. I wonder how the American people are going to take them now as a group when, we see what's going on out there, and most people are starting to get that itch of like really hating communism again, right? Because that's what's being put out there. Then you have a group of individuals that say they're anti-fascist, but agree with, communist type of ideology, like Marxism. So I'd like to see, in the next couple of months or next couple of weeks, what people feel about, how people feel about them, and where'd they go? Like, they're still out there at rallies and events and stuff, but
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jimmy. That dates back to 2020, early 2021. It's old news. It doesn't sell. Sorry, it doesn't. We're on the Ukraine Russia thing. That's what's selling right now in 2022. Antifa, that's 2020. BLM, Black Lives Matter, that's 2020, early 2021. It's not selling anymore. So if it's if all of a sudden they switch the headline from Russia Ukraine to Antifa, people are going to be confused. You're not going to engage the American people. They're going to be like, what? They're going back to Antifa? Like Antifa's a threat again? Like what happened to Russia? It's not a threat anymore. I mean, you know what I mean? That's the media's always been like that.
Yeah, no, I just mean like with the sudden uptick of everybody's focus on Russia, right? And we know that's a communist state. I'd be very curious to see what now to see if you have dissenting members and people kind of leaving those organizations. It's not for me. It's not working out, and we love America again, and
You talking almost like a militia type of thing, or?
No, meaning they're sort of a militia if you think about it.
Well, they are, but what you're talking about, like, are you talking about like these Antifa members, like possibly like, siding with, the whole Russia thing? Like,
Well,
hey,
no, I already think that if you're walking down the street calling each other a comrade and, and you
because you're
agree with
bringing up
that-
some interesting stuff that I don't even think the media is talking about right now.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I just think that if they agree with that ideology, right? What I'm saying
Right.
is with the whole gaslighting of Russia, Ukraine, I wonder if a lot of those people, since they're young and confused, are going to eventually leave that organization and actually go over to the Patriot side. Think of it like that, I'm
High
just saying.
possibility. High possibility. I mean, you never know. I mean, like we live in a society right now where it's so fast and rapidly advanced. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So you never know. You never know. Hey, what's that shirt, man? I seen some stars. It's kind of hard to see. What you got representing, like a patriotic shirt or something?
No, man, it's just red, white, and blue.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I didn't see it. Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, I guess. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like like I said, we live in such a rapidly advanced society. They could be talking about something now, and then like several weeks later, they're talking about something entirely different. So I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I just bring it up because hopefully one day, what I'd like to see is that a lot of different groups out here and we're all fighting with each other, but this kind of brings you into perspective of at some point, when are we going to all sit down and say we're all American and we need to care about this country first? And we need
Sadly, Jimmy, it's going to be a long time, and I don't even think in my decade, generation, however you want to talk about it, or yours, we're not going to see that. Sadly, we're not going to see it. It's going to be a very, very long time. This country is going to be very more divided in 20 years than it is now, and we're seeing it every single day. Our country is literally shrinking rapidly. We're becoming third world.
One thing I got to send you over though. Did you see that video with Zelensky, the president from Ukraine? So he was obviously.
Hey, hold on. Yeah, hats off to Zelensky. That dude is like taking every fucking thing in. That dude is fucking tough, man. Nails to the fucking coffin, tough. You know what I mean? Yeah, I seen that video. But go ahead.
No, I got a different one. So I think the good part here is, right, maybe we have a difference of opinion on him. I'm not really the biggest. I'm impartial. Should I say? I'm not a huge fan. I think some of the photos that are being circulated around are not. They've already been debunked. They're not like going on right now. They weren't taken recently. They were taken before. But before he was president, he was like a comedian and an actor. And he's got this fucking hilarious video. So that's what I'm laughing about is people posting like he's got balls of steel and stuff. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's not seeking asylum, and I would hope that he fights for his country, being he's the leader and he's young and able-bodied, right? There's a video of him dancing in like stilettos and tight leather pants.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that surface. Actually, seen that surface on Instagram like 2 days ago. It surfaced as a reel on Instagram, and I don't know who. Somebody made it. I forgot the handle name because I want to give credit to the person that made that video here on the show tonight. But they made that, and I was like, "That's fucking hilarious." Fucking funny shit.
I do laugh about that. So I still think Trump got the better dancing video.
Oh yeah, by far. Trump with all the memes like in the last couple of years, through the Facebook memes and everything. Yeah, Trump like literally, he's got the platform. He's got this. But speaking of platforms, I want to go back to Zelensky. First, actually, yeah, hold Trump on the phone for a minute, right? Speaking of Zelensky, did you see now? This is the distraction. More distractions that's coming out. They're planting Ukraine as the most terrible country in the world. They're blood-hungry murderers and warmongers. Ukraine is the real problem, and they're pointing to Russia like Russia is like the sweetheart. Are you seeing that scenario get played out on social media like I am?
I've seen some of it. I think some people are a little crazy with the riding with Putin type shit. I think that if you want to live the communist experience, go move over there and see what it's really about. Don't sit here in the United States and hide behind our freedoms and hide behind, you know, our democracy here, our republic, should I say, and say, yeah, I really like Putin, or I really like Zelensky or anything like that. So, but I have seen some of that stuff. But again, you're going to have propaganda from both sides. And let's face it, the socialist communist side is a very big party as well. So you're going to see a lot of propaganda from both sides.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and then we were just talking about Trump. You know, with Trump now, this past, I think it was like the last 2 weeks now, week and a half actually. I got to get my timing correct. That his new social media platform, True Social, is up and running now. Did you see that?
Yeah, I got a couple buddies who are on there, and I didn't sign up yet. I mean,
me neither. Me neither. I'm waiting for it to surface a little bit more, you know, with the reviews and stuff like that. I want to see where it's going to go. Do you think it's going to possibly take over platforms such as, you know, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook? You think you think it's going to be the next Facebook? Possibly.
I don't know. I think it's going to get a large following. I think people are tired of Facebook, but let's face it. You know, you have some of the guys I talk to. They don't even want to put their faces on their profiles because, unfortunately, you have a huge platform which most people on, you know, from the right wants to join, and then obviously people from the left who maybe want to troll them or whatever are going to join it, and you're kind of setting yourself up to be in a group and kind of be mislabeled and whatnot. I mean, just us talking, we could be mislabeled, right? We could be called all types of crazy things by people because of what we talk about and who we are.
He's a conspiracy theorist. A conspiracy theorist, right there. That's what they'll be talking about, you know.
Well, anything you say nowadays is white supremacist, Nazi, conspiracy theorist, terrorist. That's the worst
bigot,
word.
Yeah, you know, always a bigot. Yeah.
So I think that people may have issues on there at first. So that's why I'm not really joining yet, because you're kind of setting yourself up for someone to go on and say, oh, you see, boom, 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 boom. You see these people. This is what they stand for. This is what it is. I definitely think they'll get a large following, but if their main focus is not, I don't like censorship, but
trust me, man. I don't even think anybody loves censorship, and I'm told that on True Social, censorship does not exist. Shadow banning does not exist. You're free to say whatever. Now, hold on, Jimmy, and if people see that, man. There's going to be in the in the political world, it's called a political shift. Now, in social media world, it's going to be a social shift. You're going to have people be like, "Whoa, I could say that on True Social? Fucking sign me up today." You know what I mean?
I agree, but I think that you just kind of have to be careful, because then you kind of go down the road where people are they're not just going on there to be uncensored. Then you're going to have people on there, and it's going to be easy for people to say, oh, they're like forming a hate group. They're forming a hate group. Yeah. They're forming, there's people on here saying this and saying that, and it's all out of hate, and they're recruiting for some type of stuff. So people, when they get on there, should be extremely careful on how they do things. I mean, obviously, you'll know who the racists are on there. You'll know who the bigots are. They're not going to really hide it. And
But hey, Jimmy, listen, man. Like, hey, maybe that's what we need, man. Maybe that's the change we need. I'm sorry to say, maybe that's what you need. Maybe we got to stop, like kind of bending the knee, man. Stop, dude, stop being afraid, man. Live your life. I want to make a quote from, was it Benjamin Franklin? I think I had said it. Stop living in fear. Just live your life. It was Benjamin Franklin. He actually said that. Stop living in fear. Just live your life. Stop. Like, stop being afraid, man. Just do it. Like, who cares? Like, we become a society where we're worried about more other people thinking about our emotions and our feelings rather than just going with your gut. And I think that's why Donald Trump created the platform. He's getting tired of seeing people like literally being afraid of somebody being judged and this and that. Like, who cares, man? That's what makes this country so great. We're allowed to express our feelings, our thoughts, even if they're right or wrong. Like, you could be agreeing with me right now or disagreeing. That's what makes this fucking conversation so great. That's what sets our country aside from so many different countries in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. The American values and the Constitution and the way we do things here allows people to. It gives you that bubble for you to be able to talk what you want and do what you want. Obviously, it's starting to shrink because of the mindset and the shift of people.
But here's that bubble, Jimmy. That bubble is going to get popped and it's going to burst because you just agreed with me saying the country is great, right? But if it's really not great if you're still afraid of what that person is going to say, because if you're making a post on this new platform called True Social about something and you're afraid it's going to get reaction to the other platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram saying, oh, he's a racist or he just said something like that, he's causing hate. They're creating a new cult or something of hate mongering. Is America really great? No, because you're afraid. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to point out. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I do agree. I just, like I said, I would tell people to tread lightly and be careful a little bit. You don't want to. I think you just don't want to get grouped in with the wrong crowds on there. That's all I'm saying. Remember?
Oh yeah, I understand. I understand, but what I'm trying to say is that can go to the other end too, and say
absolutely.
On Facebook, where if you're calling somebody a hateful person and they're creating hatred, shouldn't they be careful too of saying those words? You know what I mean?
Well, unfortunately, there is no double standards. It's only. I mean, you got to understand the way these people think.
You know what I mean? I'm kind of bringing the conversation a little interesting here. We're like, hey, if we have to tread lightly, what about them? You know what I mean? It works both ways.
I agree. I think that hate speech is hate speech. I'm not here to tell you what hate speech is. I think that you should have freedom of speech as long as you're not directly harassing somebody or trying to physically hurt them in any sort of way, because then I'd be against the law. And I definitely don't agree with you being able to go out and I don't agree for somebody.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, man. You got to live common sense. You got to live in a common sense scenario, so to speak. You can't just go out in fucking public and decide you're mighty tough or whatever the hell, and decide to say, hey, I don't agree with you. I'm just gonna punch you in the fucking face. What's gonna happen, dude? You're gonna be in jail, for assault. Yeah, I agree on that, but still, protect your investment of words. Don't let them be shattered, man.
Well, that's why they use. That's why they use these words to condition you. You know what I mean? That's one thing. That's why you and I used it myself, right? Hate speech and terrorist and all those words used to mean a direct thing, right? When we were growing up, it was, and now it's so broad that you can't really. It's being used on a very general way, and that's the unfortunate part about it. And now I don't think that people saying words should be canceled if it's being taken out of context. If you're just discussing something, it's some type of something that's being discussed. And I think that's what we see a lot nowadays, is where it's like absolutely, you can't do this, you can't say that, and you can't do this. And before you know it, that list is going to just get bigger and bigger, because you're allowing somebody to dictate what is right and what is wrong without you having a say in it. So
yeah,
it's scary. But Truth Social, like I said, people should go on there, express how they feel, be careful.
Yeah,
I'm
really curious on how the platform does. I wish Donald Trump the best. Supported him in 2016, supported him in 2020. Love to support him again in 2024. God willing, we need him back more than ever. The country is melting down without him. We're losing all our values without him. And I'm not just saying that because I support the man, but I see it every single day. Grandpa Biden, it's time. It's time for him to, either resign or be impeached at this moment of time, because, the man is unfit. I've been saying this from day one, and it's in my book, guys. I want to put a quick plug in, Jimmy, if you don't mind. With the book is out now, guys. Can America Survive After Biden? Just hit Amazon Kindle last night at 11:59 p.m., right before the midnight hour. So you want to check that book out. Very low, guys. Very low. Set the price at $4.99 for everybody to afford. Right now, there's about 50,000 copies of that book. So once it reaches 50,000, I may extend it to 200,000. I may not, depending on how the book does. But guys, pick your book up today. Can America Survive After Biden? It is a e-book format. What that means is you download the app, Amazon Kindle, and you can read it right from the app. Really, really interesting stuff in the book that even the general media is not touching on. And no, don't call me a conspiracy theorist, because I only say the truth. But yeah, Jimmy, yeah. What's that?
It's less than $5, $4.99. If you're looking for a good read,
you can't afford $5. There's something wrong. You know what I mean? But yeah, pick it up. Yeah, it's a great book, guys. We're gonna have more books come out in the near future, but like I said, it's a really interesting book. Jimmy, I don't know, a couple more minutes, man. You wanna say anything before we kind of close it out? I'm getting winded a little bit with words, man. It's been a long day for me.
Me too, man. I would just say, like I think I always kind of end it, stand up for what you believe in, and keep on doing what you got to do. Read, like I said, we're in a great war of information right now. Anybody who used to listen to the Alex Jones show, his intro, he said, "There's a war on your mind." I have to agree with that. Not saying I agree with everything that comes out of that.
InfoWars is a great show, and it's many shows that I love to get credit to. InfoWars, Alex Jones, because a lot of my content is based off of his content. And, if he's listening, or if he ever listens to any of my shows, thank you very much, Alex Jones. You are like a digital mentor. Where's my words tonight? You can tell I'm tired. You know what I mean? You're a great teacher of mine. I give credit to him, Jimmy, because, he's a very knowledgeable man. And people like Alex Jones, Dan Bongino, Michael Savage, Tucker Carlson, Judge Jeanine Pirro, all the greats, they deserve to be credited. They get attacked every day for just speaking the truth that the general media is either too afraid or won't even speak of, because they are the puppets of the largest distraction of what's going on in the country today, the federal government.
Absolutely. And, and unfortunately, your free speech is at risk. It's at risk to be censored. So read as much as you can, prepare yourself, whatever you can. And it doesn't have to be on an extreme level. When I say prepare yourself, I mean, train to prepare. Prepare for any kind of scenario. We're on the cusp of, what could pull us into a war. you have to worry about cyber attacks. What if they put our grid down for 2 weeks, right? They don't even have to. Not one foreign military has to touch American soil. They could do things. They did it with the pipeline last year when they had that ransom software. So you just have to think like that. It's not conspiracy theory. I think people, they like to throw that word at you. It's really just thinking smart and adapting to what could be going on in the future.
Yeah. With that being said, Jimmy, thank you for coming in. Wow, what a conversation we touched on tonight. A lot of good topics, guys. We got into the Cain Velasquez story, got into the whole Russia-Ukraine. Jimmy, it's been an honor. It's been a blessing to have you on the show. Thank you very much, my friend.
Man.
And guys, remember, tune us in tomorrow night for Unfiltered Wednesday, guys. Thanks very much. We'll see you then.
Pick up that book.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.